Scorpio, this month is all about you. And of course, it's your season, so it's time to turn up, celebrate life, and get ready for another revolution around the sun. This month, it's really about cleanup for you. There's some things that have to go. Those things that no longer serve you or aren't in your highest good need to be eradicated. And for some of you, it's all about your relationships. If you want to know more, keep watching and I'll explain all about it. What's up, Scorpio? It's your girl Mel of Divine Feminine Works, and as always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, spirituality, and manifestation. So if those are the things you like, if those are the things you love, if those are the things you want to learn more about, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell, so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. And for even more content, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Divine Feminine Works. Every day I've got loads of great content that you definitely don't want to miss, so head over there and follow me. All right, so Scorpio, first and foremost, happy birthday! I hope that this new year and new revolution around the sun brings you everything that your heart desires. I wish you good health, wealth, abundance, love, joy, blessings, all of the good stuff that life has to offer. That's what I wish for you for this new year. So enjoy it. It's your season. And speaking of your season, all Scorpio babies get 20% off solar return charts. Now, if you're not familiar with what a solar return chart is, it's basically a year ahead for you. It's custom tailored to what you are going to experience this next year of life, from this birthday to the next. So like I said, they're 20% off for all Scorpios. Link is in the description box below, so check that out and take advantage of this special. So you know the deal. As always, we start off with the astrology. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the month starts out with Scorpio season, specifically the sun being in the sign of Scorpio. And I find that people either love Scorpio season or hate it. A lot of people associate it with Halloween, with darkness, with all of that kind of stuff. And Scorpio season tends to be a very intense season, arguably the most intense season of the year. And that's because our focus and our consciousness is directed towards death, towards transformation, towards rebirth. This is the time of year where we venerate our ancestors. This is the time of year where we focus on really big changes, making changes in our life, things changing, things ending. And, sometimes people don't really necessarily take to that too well, but be that as it may, that is the essence of Scorpio season. And that's how we start out the month. Thereafter, on November 4th, we have the new moon in Scorpio. And of course, as always, new moons are all about new beginnings. It's about a fresh, clean slate. And this particular new moon is going to have us focus on creating intimacy and transformation in our lives. Like I said, Scorpio season, all about transformation. So this new moon, if you are looking to really transform something in your life, if you're looking to put an end to certain things, to bad habits, if you are trying to start something new, regenerate something in your life, this new moon is going to be the new moon where you do it. It's going to be opposite to Uranus in Taurus and square to Saturn in Aquarius. So there's going to be this element of surprise. There's going to be this element of shakeup, but there's also going to be a little bit of resistance, particularly if you're talking about regeneration, rebirthing something. Saturn, the square to Saturn is probably going to make things a little difficult, probably provide some obstacles, but it doesn't mean that your new beginning isn't going to happen. It just means that you're going to have to kind of work at it in order to get things going. But regardless, the new moon is going to be very powerful again in the sign of Scorpio on November 4th. Thereafter, on the next day, we have Mercury transiting into Scorpio on November 5th. And Mercury in Scorpio, just like I said before, how the sun in Scorpio is all about us focusing our consciousness on death, transformation, rebirth. Mercury in Scorpio sort of takes that a little bit further and has our thoughts really geared towards that. Everything about Scorpio is substantive, it's deep, it's truth-seeking, and that's where our thoughts are going to be going while Mercury is in Scorpio. It's also about like psychic abilities, it's all about telepathy, it's all about intuition, and it's also about addressing our emotions, particularly repressed emotions, and sort of making sense of them, trying to figure out what they are, processing them, all of that good stuff. Mercury in Scorpio is also about substantive communication. Scorpio is anything but superficial. Scorpio is very deep. And so with Mercury in Scorpio, how we speak to people, how we relate to other people is going to be more substantive. It won't be so much superficial sort of pleasantries and, all of that, kind of bullshit. It's really going to get deep, and we're going to be able to communicate with people on a much deeper level. All right, so that's Mercury in Scorpio. That same day, Venus is going to be moving into the sign of Capricorn. This is again November 5th. And Venus in Capricorn is very serious. Venus in Capricorn is serious love. It's commitment. Some say it has to do with soulmates and things like that. But apart from just relationships, Venus in Capricorn is also about long-term investments. It's about creating a nest egg. Capricorn is very much about status. It's about stability. And when you have Venus in this very sort of rigid sign, love is about providing. Love is about money. Love is about being taken care of in a tangible way. Okay. And, again, love gets serious. It gets practical. It gets down to earth. And Venus will be in Capricorn for about a month or so. So during that time, that would be a great time to start a financial plan, start saving. If you want to add more money to your 401k, Venus in Capricorn really allows you to do that with ease. So you'll definitely want to take advantage of that energy while it's in there. All right. Now, the next thing is the full moon lunar eclipse on November 19th. And this is sort of the star of the month. Eclipses are like full moons and new moons on steroids. And this one in particular happens to be a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus. Okay. So this is like a full moon on steroids. It's like really the final culmination to some of your manifestations, or it's like really shining a spotlight on something that has been hidden for a while. I want you to think back, if you can, to May 2018. That is where this eclipse is sort of coming from. That's where this energy is sort of, that's how this started, right? And it's going to end with this full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus on the 19th. And it's important to understand sort of how eclipses work. And they work typically on an axis. This particular axis is Taurus and Scorpio. And this particular full moon lunar eclipse kicks off a season of eclipses along the Taurus and Scorpio axis for the next 2 years. So all of the eclipses that we're going to have over the next 2 years are going to be along the Taurus and Scorpio axis. And Taurus and Scorpio really, if I had to sum up what they represent, it's about resources. We've got Taurus on the one end, which is about personal resources. We've got Scorpio on the other end, which is about shared resources. I mean, there are different interpretations of Scorpio and Taurus, but for the most part, it's about resources. It's about tangible things. It's about having tangible things in your hand in Taurus and sort of emotional resources with Scorpio. Superficial stuff with Taurus, deep stuff with Scorpio. And that's sort of where we're going to see this play out over the next 2 years. Now, this is a partial lunar eclipse. It's not going to be a full lunar eclipse. So keep that in mind as well. This is going to, like I said, this is going to bring to light intentions that were set at the new moon in Taurus in May, thereabout 2018. So think back to 2018. What were you working on at that time? Taurus tends to be tangible. So there may have been tangible physical things you may have wanted to manifest then. You may finally see that manifestation come to fruition under this full moon lunar eclipse. And depending where this falls in your sign, this is where, this is the area of life that's going to be seriously illuminated under this eclipse. And so that is sort of how that's going to play out. Again, that's sort of the star event of the month. It's nothing to be alarmed about. It's not some catastrophic sort of event. It's just something that's going to be really in your face. Something you may have been working towards for the last 2 years. Something may come to light. That's not necessarily bad. It may be something good that may come to light. But again, that's how that eclipse is going to play out. And again, that is on November 19th. Moving right along, we get to the sun moving into Sagittarius on November 21st, and that marks the beginning of Sagittarius season. Sagittarius season, I love it because it's very larger than life. Sagittarius is bold, it's adventurous, it's huge, it takes up space, and it's unapologetic. And that's sort of how we're going to be feeling once the sun transits into Sagittarius. Sagittarius favors long-term travel, higher education. So once the sun moves into the sign of Sagittarius, you may want to, go back to school. You may want to take a trip, but your thoughts may be focused on things that are kind of big. Sagittarius is really about skipping the details and really looking at the big picture of things, particularly when it comes to things like religion, philosophy, law. So it's I always feel like during Sagittarius season, we all have these grandiose ideas and we think about things like philosophy and humankind and all of these things. Sagittarius season really stretches your mind. And that's exactly what's going to happen when the sun moves into the sign of Sagittarius, again on November 21st. And finally, the last thing that we have is Mercury moving into Sagittarius on November 24th. So Mercury started off in Scorpio, right? Well, actually it transitioned into Scorpio early in the month, and our thoughts were very deep. They were very substantive. Our communication was very deep and intense with people. Now when we move to Sagittarius, it's more bold. It's more in your face. It's more adventurous. Your thoughts are larger than life. Mercury in Sagittarius also favors foreign languages. So foreign languages may be something that comes to mind, something that you start learning about when Mercury is in Sagittarius, particularly with the sun also being there as well. It just favors different. You want to experience new things. You want to broaden your horizons via your thoughts and your communication. So you may find that when Mercury is in Sagittarius, you communicate with people who are much different than you, people who have a different perspective to add to your life. Mercury in Sagittarius can be very exciting because it's out of the norm. It sort of steps outside of the box and experiences different things that add this richness to your life. Which is a nice transition because Scorpio season, like I said, can be very intense. With Mercury in Scorpio, it's we're really thinking about our emotions. A lot of us sort of turn inward towards our repressed emotions, really diving deep into our subconscious, into our psyche. And after that, with Mercury moving into Sagittarius, now we're able to have some fun. We're able to broaden our horizons, experience adventures, experience new things. And like I said, add this richness to our lives that some of us really need. It's good to, stick with what you know, but Sagittarius season sort of has you break the mold and experience new, exciting things. So it's a very exciting time. And that's how we end the month. So this month is looking pretty good. There isn't too much turmoil, although Scorpio season in itself, being that it's so intense, things can come up, particularly repressed emotions, like I said before. But other than that, pretty chill month. The full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus is going to seriously bring things to light, depending on where Taurus is in your chart. But other than that, we're looking at a good month nonetheless. So for you, Scorpio, you have a big emphasis on your first and second houses this month. It is your season, so the sun is going to be in Scorpio, which is your first house. Now, keep in mind, these horoscopes are done by rising sign, okay? But it also pertains to your sun sign, so don't freak out, all right? But there's a big emphasis, like I said, on your first and second houses with the sun in Scorpio. We've got Mercury in Scorpio. The sun is going to be in Sagittarius, and then Mercury is going to move into Sagittarius. So first house is all about self. So for you, your season is obviously about you. It's about your personal goals, how you look, your appearance, your attitude, your outlook on life. All of that is sort of going to be in the forefront of your thoughts while the sun is still in Scorpio. Also, with Mercury in Scorpio, it's going to be about expressing yourself outwardly. It's going to be communicating with people. Your thoughts are going to be really me-centric, So again, this month, it's pretty much all about you. Now, when the sun transitions into Sagittarius and Mercury transitions into Sagittarius, your second house of money and material possessions will be lit. So you start out the month sort of thinking about yourself, and by the end of the month, you're thinking about your money. You're thinking about maybe income streams, saving money, buying things, accumulating things. The second house also covers things that we value. So whether it's your self-esteem, whether it's the criteria you have for friends, family, or relationships, all of those things that we value, that we hold in high regard, is governed by the second house. So once the sun moves into Sagittarius, that's where your focus is going to be. Now, the new moon in Scorpio happening on the 4th is going to give you a chance to manifest any personal desires and wants that you have, especially anything that you want to change. So if you want to change bad habits, if you want to integrate certain things, if you want to start a new workout regimen, get your body looking right, you're going to want to set those intentions at that new moon on the 4th. All right. Now, with Venus in Capricorn, this is going to highlight your third house of siblings, your vicinity, and communication. So Venus in Capricorn, like I said, is about, love, being stable, commitment, long-term investments. So third house also covers short distance travel. So while Venus is in Capricorn, you may want to take a short distance trip, maybe, stay within the country, but maybe take a little weekend trip or whatever, particularly if you have a mate. If you're looking for a mate, Venus in Capricorn will get you to meet someone who's serious and maybe even older than you, but you might have to take a little trip in order to find them. You also want to talk to people about like long-term investments and learn about those things. So if you're looking to start investing, but you don't know much about the stock market, Venus in Capricorn is going to be great for you to start learning those skills. Research on YouTube, get a webinar, sign up for a course. Those kind of things will definitely thrive and definitely help you in the long run with Venus going into Capricorn. All right. The full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus is going down in your 7th house of relationships. So for those of you who started dating someone back in 2018, particularly like May 2018, now things may come to a culmination. You may find that you're getting engaged. You may find that you're moving in together. You may find that your relationship is changing in a very tangible sort of way because this is going down in Taurus. So you might get a ring, you might get a home together, you might get something tangible that sort of solidifies your commitment to each other and takes it to the next level. For some of you, something may be revealed about your relationship, and being that it's in Taurus, it might be, let's say you find something unexpectedly, or something that has been stable for a long time kind of shakes up and sort of is brought to light under the full moon lunar eclipse. It's going to be intense because eclipses tend to really be like moons on steroids, right? But it's not necessarily bad. And being that it's going down in your 7th house of relationships, I feel like you're really just going to be taking things to the next level, or you're going to be deciding to get into a commitment at that time. Maybe at that time, it may be time for you to leave a commitment, whether that's personal or business. But again, that's going down in your 7th house of relationships. And then by the end of the month, like I said, your 2nd house of money and material possessions is lit with the sun moving into Sagittarius and Mercury moving into Sagittarius. Now, your ruling planet Mars is direct in Scorpio all month. So that you-centric energy, right? That me-focused energy that, Scorpio season has, particularly for you because it is your season, that's going to be amped up with your ruling planet Mars being there. So if you are really looking to start working out, I see you really being like overzealous with it. I see you being like extra about it because Mars is putting a battery in your back. You're actually going to be really selfish also, because Mars tends to be kind of selfish and headstrong. So in expressing yourself, particularly with Mercury in Scorpio, like I said, that's happening at the beginning of the month, you're going to be very opinionated. What you think, you're going to express that to the world, and it's kind of going to be your way or the highway. So be mindful of being sort of extra with people, because it definitely could lead to conflict. But otherwise, enjoy your season. Enjoy you. Make some changes. Create the life that you want. And then come the end of the month, it's time to get the business. It's time to get the money. It's time to secure the bag. All right? So now that we've gotten the astrology out of the way, let's get into the tarot and see what messages Spirit has for you and your season this month. All right, Scorpio, you know the deal. We always start out with the oracle cards and then move into the tarot for some more specific messages. But this month, I'm actually doing things a little differently. I'm going to be giving you 3 separate messages. 1 general, 1 love, and 1 career and money. All right. So I like to break it down that way so that you guys sort of get a comprehensive view of what everything is going to look like for you this month. All right, so let's get into it. So first, let's do the general message. So what general message does Spirit have for Scorpio for November? All right. First card out is Chop Wood. And this is sort of about cleaning up, okay? This is about tidying up. So whatever's in your life that may be messy, whatever things that may be lingering around, you're going to want to get rid of them. You're going to want to get to work and clean things up. And this is very emblematic of Sun in the first house energy, because again, it's during our season, right? It's when we have our solar return. And that's when we generally want to clean things up. That's when we think about, what do we want for this next year? What no longer serves us? Let's get rid of us. It's like we have this like new me sort of energy come our birthday. And this exactly is what's going on for you. It's time to get rid of what no longer serves you. Okay. If you notice, whenever I start doing readings, my nose starts to itch like crazy. So if you see me doing this a lot, I'm not sick or anything. It's just Spirit has a way of like tickling my nose, or like, yeah, that's what it is. All right, let's continue with this general message. What else do we have for Scorpio? Okay. We've got the Hermit. All right. So this is about spending some quiet time in order to assess what needs to be cleared and what needs to be cleaned up, which may be a little difficult because during your season, like if you're like some of the other signs, you like to celebrate the entire month, or you're doing so many activities, and that's perfectly fine. But Spirit is also saying, I need you to take some quiet time and really figure out where you want your life to go. Don't just make it a fleeting thought like, oh, let me just think about it real quick. No, take some time, take some pen to paper and think about what it is that you want to manifest in this new year of life, what is no longer serving you, so that you can sort of sort it out, clear out what isn't necessary anymore, and move on in a very transformative way. As you can, you guys know that you're very transformative. So you're going to want to take some quiet time and figure that out. All right, let's get one more card for this general message. We've got Mature Man. Interesting. So for some of you, and with this being a 5, this is about change. So some of you may be getting rid of a mature man in your life. Some of you may be maturing, looking at things from a more mature level. Particularly, if you look at this card, you see this globe right here, and you see how he's looking at this globe. Come Sagittarius season, a lot of you are going to be, okay, the way the Spirit is saying this to me right now, you know when you're a kid and your palate is very sort of bland, like kids typically can't really eat a lot of spicy foods. I mean, kids nowadays are a little different, but at least back in my time, kids, it'd be like chicken fingers and French fries, right? And all of a sudden, your taste is going to elevate. You're going to be able to take on spicier foods. You're going to be more interested in different things to expand your palate. So I feel like this next year of life for you, particularly this month also, and especially when the sun moves into Sagittarius, I feel like your taste is going to change. It's going to elevate. It's going to be different. And you're going to be experiencing different things and sort of leveling up, maturing in a sense. For others, there's something about a mature man that is prominent this month, but maybe it'll come out in the love message. So let's get on to that. All right. So concerning love, Spirit, what messages do you have for Scorpio this month? All right. We've got codependency. All right, and you see how this card looks. This is a 4, okay? So for some of you, there is going to be this element of codependency that's going to come into your consciousness. Some of you are going to be like, this maturing that I said that you're going to do is going to include not having this. Some of you are going to be like, listen, one of the things that I need to clean up in my life is being like really codependent or needy when it comes to my relationships, my friendships, whatever. Some of you are going to be letting go of someone who is codependent. But regardless, it's sort of like now is the month. This is the month where you're like, okay, this is one of those issues that I need to clean up, that I need to make sure that I don't continue, that I need to eradicate from my life. And there's no better time to do that than now, being that it's your season, being that you have the new moon in your first house. So anything having to do with personal goals, those are the kind of things that you're going to want to manifest under this new moon. So yes. And again, just reminding myself, or spirit was just reminding me, that you have the full moon lunar eclipse in your 7th house of relationships. And so this may be something that becomes highlighted at that time. And I believe that's on the 19th. Issues of codependency, whether it's in a business relationship or personal relationship, people that are too needy, people that are too codependent on you, that might really come to light at the full moon lunar eclipse. Maybe you've been in a relationship for the last couple of years, and this full moon lunar eclipse is going to put that shit on Front Street. And it's time for you to clean it up, fix it up, get rid of it, or whatever. All right, let's continue on with this love message. What else we got for Scorpio? Okay, we got 2. Oh yeah. We've got the 5 of Pentacles and we've got the 7 of Swords. So yeah, if you've been experiencing codependency, if you've been codependent or someone has been codependent on you, not only is it going to come to Front Street, but it's going to be a little, I see people perhaps breaking up. I see a deception that sort of brings this codependency to light. Be mindful around the full moon lunar eclipse on the 19th, because that's when all of this is going to come to a head, and that's when all of this is going to come in your face. And, transformation, you guys aren't new to transformation. Scorpionic energy is very transformative. And so you're used to that intensity. Not to say that it's easy, but you're sort of used to it. And understand that anything that is transforming for your highest good is going to feel like shit at first, but it's ultimately for your highest good, because this ain't cute. Codependency is not cute. It's not something that you want. Sometimes I feel like, I remember I used to have a friend who was like, jealousy in a relationship is very important. Like, to have your mate be jealous over you is a good thing. And I was like, what? Like, no, that actually kind of sucks. Codependency is not cute. Having someone being needy or having someone being a crutch, especially emotionally, is not cute. And it doesn't make for a healthy relationship either. So allow this relationship to transform if that's what this issue is. For a very select few of you, you are going to be locked into something, okay? You're going to be locked into a commitment, but not in a codependent way. This is letting me know that some of you are going to be solidifying a commitment. And if you do that inner work, right? If you allow yourself to be still and you allow yourself to think about what it is that you want, realize and understand what a healthy relationship is, that commitment that you have is going to be devoid. Sorry, I'm trying to use like a big ass word right there. It's going to be like, there's not going to be codependency in that relationship. So for some of you, you guys are going to be locked into something. You see how they've got these handcuffs here. You're going to be locked into a commitment, but it's not going to be bad. But for a lot of you, I'm guessing there's going to be issues of codependency that comes up so that you can eradicate it. All right, let's get one more card here. Yeah. Okay. We've got false person. All right. So with this codependency, I've got deception. I've got false person. I've got being left out in the cold. So for some of you, there's a relationship that's going to end, or these issues are going to come up so that you can end some relationship that's really not of your best interest. It's not of your highest good. Clearly, if there's deception, if there's fraud going on here, I'm hearing, like, I see someone moving out. someone giving back a key. Remember, all of this is transforming so that you have the room now and you have the space within your life and your energy field to have a good relationship. Okay, so keep that in mind if this pertains to you and if you're going to be going through this. All right, now let's get this last message, which is about money and career. Ooh, the bouquet. All right, that's beautiful stuff. Things are blooming for you in terms of money and career, right? Some of you are coming to an ending cycle where you may have been putting in a lot of energy towards work or towards money, and now things are going to start to bloom and they're going to start to look beautiful. The hard work that you've put in before is finally going to come to fruition, okay? And maybe for some of you, that also may be around the time of the full moon, because 7th house is also about commitments, but it's also about contracts, things that we bind ourselves to. So let's say you're in business for yourself. Maybe now you're going to get a nice contract, a nice, big, beautiful contract. For some of you, you're going to be locking in a job where you sign a contract, an employment contract that is beautiful, that's blooming. So this energy is really good for career and money. Let's get some more out here for career and money for Scorpio for November. Oh, look at this. Queen of Cups. This is you. You know it too. You feel it. You've been working on this for a long time. For some of you, you've been manifesting this beautiful bounty, this beautiful blooming energy with respect to your career and money for some time. It's also letting me know that you need to just be yourself, okay? Just be yourself and it will attract these things to you, okay? But you already feel this. You feel this coming. You know exactly what I'm talking about with this. So enjoy it because whatever is coming is really good. Let's get one last card out here to close out this reading. Look at this. It doesn't get any better than that. Gifts. Yes. Yes. So the good thing is for you, Scorpio, money is looking excellent. Money and career are looking excellent this month. Hold out your hand. Look at these two cards. You see? And then you see how she's got her hands up. Like, hold out your hands. Be receptive this month to things coming your way because whatever's coming is really good and it's really positive. Money is definitely on the way. All right. So it's going to be a little bit of a mixed bag this month. We've got some quiet time. We've got, clearing out what no longer serves you, cleaning up any of the messes in your life. For some of you, that mess may be a codependent relationship or relationship that's got deception, fraud, all that kind of stuff. But money's looking really good. So open out your hands and receive because you've got a lot of great gifts coming your way. And it's your birthday month. So of course you're going to have gifts. You're going to have flowers. Just be open to receiving it. And most importantly, be yourself. All right, my loves, that has been the November 2021 Astro Forecast and Tarot Scope for Scorpio. I sincerely hope that you were able to get at least one important message from this reading. Actually, I know you did. I affirm that you received an important message from this reading, and you definitely will. If you would like to book a personal reading with me or order an astrology report, those links are in the description box below, so don't forget to check those out. While you're checking things out, don't forget to check out my website, sign up for my newsletter. Both of those links are also in the description box below. My loves, everything I do is a labor of love and comes straight from the bottom of my heart. If you feel so inclined and would like to tip me by buying me a coffee, and tips are always greatly appreciated, I'll leave that link in the description box as well. Scorpio, it's your season. Turn up, live it up to the fullest. And I hope that this month finds you well. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.